Hey guys, it's Bill Vinci and Ryan Vinci with another episode of No Time for Nonsense. It's Monday night. That means we got another special guest today. We have Leroy Collins tonight. Leroy, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Doing super, man. It's good to see you again, by the way. It's been almost probably over a year now since we hung out last time.
I know, and it was a great time too. I can't wait to do that again.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that a little bit later on in the show. But Ryan, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Doing good, can't complain.
Well, I'm excited because this is a great story. We're going to get into this in a minute. But first, we got some sponsors for tonight's show I want to thank. Let's get right to that. I want to thank Out of the Way Cafe and Matt Grabsky in Utica, New York. Matt is selling Belvedere's ice, Italian ice. They have lemon, watermelon, and they got orange, which is phenomenal. This time of year when it's hot out, make sure you grab one of those. They got Eggs Benedict. They got a walleye wrap, pancakes, sandwiches, everything. And everything's big, too, over there. And make sure you go down. They got some incredible greens. We had them this weekend for Father's Day. Give Matt a call at 315-733-5060. Put your order in. Matt will take care of you. Also want to thank Geddes Bakery in North Syracuse and the Pappas family. It's wedding season, so you can call and you can get a free consultation with them to get your wedding cake and talk to them. Plus, they got donuts, pie, spanakopita, baklava, and tomato pie. Definitely give them a call, get your order in, and set something up. They're at 315-437-8084. And our last sponsor, C&M Design and Apparel. For all your T-shirts, your hoodies, your hats, and much, much more. Definitely call Matt Stewart. Give him a call, man. He's one of the best around. He's at 315-745-1149. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring tonight's show with Leroy. And Leroy, first of all, man, I want to see how are you doing through all this coronavirus time right now?
I had to adjust. Everything that I used to do is like in person. I had I did a fitness center that, I retrain people one-on-one. And, you do group classes, you all together, you like to feel their energy. You like to give out your energy to them. And we went online. We had to go online and do all the stuff on Zoom and on Google Meet and do all the classes there. And the connection wasn't there. The workouts is there. The connection just wasn't the same. The energy wasn't there. They did the workouts. I taught the workouts, but it wasn't the same. And I do speaking. I go do speaking events. I like to speak on stage and like to look at the crowd, look into their eyes, bring that emotional connection. Like if you say something funny, they laugh, or you say something emotional, they cry, and then you cry with them.
Sure.
So it's hard on Zoom because I can say, like, one of my meetings I had a Zoom meeting, and we had like 300 people online, and the screen only showed maybe 40 or 50 of them. And there's one guy, I don't know if he thought he had his camera off, but he went and grabbed a big bag of Lay's potato chips, and he sat in front of the screen and had the Lay's there and grabbing stacks of them and crunching on them. And I'm looking at the bag. I'm saying my speech and all my concentration went right to the bag of Lay's. I'm like, this dude. I said, I bet you he think his camera is off because he grabbed a stack of them.
And you can see him eating them. Oh my God!
I can see him. I can hear every crunch. And he had it on mute, but I can still hear the crunch.
That is so funny. That's hilarious. Well, guys, we're with Leroy Collins. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment on the D Network, or you can put a comment on No Time for Nonsense or Bill Vinci. Me and Ryan are watching all the comments and people jumping on. Ask Leroy a message, and we'll definitely get an answer for you.
We got John Pappas in the comment section. What's going on, John? One of our sponsors.
John, one of our sponsors at Geddes Bakery. Leroy, have you been to Geddes Bakery?
I love Geddes Bakery. I love it.
Oh,
I mean, nice. I haven't got a chance to venture out as much since this COVID, but that's one place that I will visit once I really start moving around. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Good people over there and great food.
Yeah.
So we wanted to get right into your story, and we know that you grew up in Hudson, New York. How was it growing up in Hudson?
Hudson was great. Hudson it's a small town. It's called like Little New York City. It's everybody know each other. It's like a family, a tight knit family community. I grew up in Hudson. I learned a lot in Hudson. Hudson actually prepared me a lot for the world, you would say, because we had a little bit of everything. And everybody was family, everybody was friends, and it was a great time growing up. And I learned a lot.
Yeah, I was going to say, you grew up with, now, did you have 4 brothers or 3 brothers?
I had growing up in Hudson. I had 3 brothers growing up in Hudson. I got 4 now.
4 now. 4 now. How was that growing up with all boys in the house?
Well, it was a very competitive, challenging house. I always got, I always led the way, and my brothers always was, when I get older, they're gonna, beat me out, or they're going to challenge always be better than me. So we always push each other. In high school, we was always the top. My brother was top on defense, and I was top on offense because we always push each other, and we had a certain mindset that we wanted to go pro. So we was a good duo to push each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, tragedy struck when you were 6 years old, and this to me is, and I read your book when you gave it to me, and it was, we talked a little bit about it before, but this to me, I still get goosebumps even talking about it. And I was telling Ryan before the show about this, and Todd, and it's just it's a scary thing. So, at 6 years old, you were hit by a 10-wheel truck, and it dragged you 25 feet down the street. Basically, were you mangled by that truck?
Oh yeah. So I was mangled. I got all my clothes torn off. I had 40% of roll burn, so 40% of my skin was torn off my body. I had broken bones, 14 broken bones. I had a fractured skull, and yeah, so I got pretty mangled. I got ran over by the back tire of the truck. Actually ran over my body and ran over my head.
Oh my God, I can't. It's just a horrific scene. And now, were you playing with your brothers at the time?
Yeah, so we were out playing. We always play like neighborhood games. All the kids get together. We was playing cops and robbers, and we had water guns chasing each other. We had squirt bottles, and just different things of that such. And we were heading to the store, and we were still playing the game, crossing the street, and just being unaware, playing, laughing, a bunch of kids, having fun, and just lost, lost sight of our, sense of where we're at in the road, and my brother got hit and down the road, and then the same truck that hit him continued on to hit me. So my brother got hit the same day I got hit.
Wow.
When it hit him, it hit the side of the car and it broke his leg. But then when it continued on, it hit me, and it actually hit me head on, and it threw me 10 yards. And after I hit the ground, the truck continued driving, and that's when it ran me over, and my clothes was snagged down to the bottom of the truck, underneath the truck.
Wow.
Yep.
Talk about
and I have a 6-year-old now, so this is a trauma that I have, and I just noticed this with my first son. I got 3 boys. I got 12, 9, and 6 now. So I know this trauma that I have. When our boys get 6 years old, I get this panic, and I really noticed it until like later on, until my wife kind of made it known to me and said that, why are you acting so weird? Why are you so overprotective and all this other stuff? Right. And I just didn't know that it happened to me when I was 6 years old. So when they turned 6, I was overprotected of them. Sure. The road was like the scariest thing for them. At that age. And then now I have a 6-year-old right now that looks just like me. He has the same mindset that I had when I was younger, like that I wanted to do everything and I wanted to do it good and do it right. And I just watch him. So it's just like I'm on this level of overprotecting, and this level of just like, just making sure that he's safe, and not just in the road, but just anything. Just that 6 years old just really got me on edge all the time.
Absolutely. Now, you were actually pronounced dead, and they revived you back to life?
Yes. So At the scene of the accident, I was still alive, but while being transported to the hospital, I ended up dying, and while being transported, and they revived me, and when they revived me, and they did the operation and stuff, they were still saying that I would never be able to function on my own. They was all going to be in a vegetative state. So basically, they wanted my mother to prepare herself for the 24-hour service, nursing, and wanted me to basically be, taken care of. So they said, well, This is what the diagnosis is. This is what we're going to look forward to, that your son might be in a vegetative state. He might not wake up out of a coma, the same person. And then, and they saw things healing. And when I did wake up and I woke up speaking, it was a shock to everybody. It was a shock to the whole medical industry. And then, and from that point, it was like, okay, it's a miracle. He's talking.
Right.
You know what I mean? He might function on his own, but he'll still never walk again. And that was true for a while. And I mean, until something else came over me and took over, and that was a miracle as well.
I was going to say, it's got to be very emotional for you to even talk about it. Yeah, I mean, years later, right?
Yeah, I did. I wrote a book, and I read the book. So what happened over COVID, the coronavirus? I've been reading my book a whole lot more because like organizations and book clubs, they would buy my book, and then they would also want me to read chapters to them. And so when I read chapters to them, I get so emotional throughout the chapters, and then I noticed that they're getting all everybody on there getting emotional too, and
Sure.
So we stopped and have a 5-minute cry session, and then we get back to reading, and then so it's since I wrote a book about it, it's a story that lives on that I be talking about a lot now.
Right.
So yeah, it's emotional. It's emotional because I'll always visually see a lot of it, like the hospital times and stuff like that.
So what entailed with the rehabilitation process? How long did that go, and what did you have to do during it?
Well, so once I left the hospital, my body was still covered in bandages. I woke up out of coma. My body's still covered in bandages, so I always had to get my bandages changed all the time, which was a painful process. It's horrible. So sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night, and or I wake up in the morning. My parents wake me up in the morning. I can't get out of bed because I'm stuck to the bed because of the bandages. So you have to soak me in the bath to get the bed sheets off me. But the thing is that I did physical therapy, but I always wanted to do more because I had this dream to play in the NFL. The doctor said I could never walk again, and I had a dream to play in the NFL. So I used to try to do more. Like the doctor, even at 6, 7 years old, I was a young kid, and I was always challenging myself to do more walking, to do more things on my own, try to be more independent. And my mother used to carry me around the house to carry me to the dinner table, used to carry me to the couch to watch TV, or carry me to bed or whatever. And once I had that desire and dream to play in the NFL, I started doing all the things on my own. Even if I have to hold on to the wall, if it was painful, if I fell down, I got myself back up to continue on practicing because it was something that was in me that I know was the grace of God that placed in me, like do more, practice more, work harder. So at a young age, I was doing that. I was always, I can do it myself. I can do it myself. I can do it myself. And then a couple months of doing that, I started taking my first steps. I had a dream about it first. I actually saw myself playing with the kids. It was funny because I saw myself playing with the kids in the neighborhood because before I started walking, my parents used to put me out in my wheelchair, and I used to watch the kids run around up the hill, do the monkey bars, and do all kind of fun stuff. And I used to sit and watch them in my wheelchair, or I get out of the wheelchair and I roll down a hill. I carry my body around, I crawl around like the best I know how.
Wow.
I really couldn't crawl that well either because my hips were locked, so I really couldn't crawl as well. And so, but then I had a dream that I saw myself playing and running around with those kids. And I woke up in tears streaming down my face. And I woke up because it felt real to me. And then maybe a week or two later, I ended up taking my first steps. So it was actually like, it was happening. It was preparing me for like what was to come, because I started taking my first step. And then I had the dream. I mean, then I had the dream that I had. I was actually out there running around with the kids, still not as fluid as I would like, but I was up on my own 2 feet walking around.
Wow.
You know what's tough about that too is that you got to find the middle ground between between resting and then trying to move a little bit, trying to walk, like you said. You kind of force yourself a little bit more than maybe you're supposed to, but that might have been a good thing, because you do have to find some strength and build yourself back to where you want to be. And it's tough to find that line, but it seems like you did really well getting to that point.
Right.
So at what point did you...
It was. Say it again?
Oh, go ahead.
Hello?
Yep. You're here?
Okay. Yep, I'm here.
All right, what were you going on with? What were you saying?
No, I was saying, I was saying that you, like you said, it took a lot. You probably had to do a little more. The more you did, the better it was for you. I used to get up 3 o'clock in the morning sometime and practice on walking. When I wasn't stuck to the bed.
Oh.
Froze.
Okay, we're back.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
There you are.
All right, we good?
We're good.
Okay. Yeah, good. So basically, what I was saying, that's what I was. It was always me trying to do a little more, and I did it constantly. I mean, all the time, and it was just one day that really changed the game for me. One night I got up 3 o'clock in the morning. I got up and I was walking out, and I got to hold on to my bed post or hold on to the wall. Just to navigate around the house. And I used to go by my mother's room, and I used to hear her crying and praying to give me my life back, to give me the life like a normal kid, and fix my legs and stop my pain. And I used to hear her praying all the time. So that got me praying. So I started praying, and I used to, I hear her praying all the time. I said, maybe I should try this praying thing. And that's right around the time when I started praying and started practicing and started praying and practicing. And then I had the dream, and then I was out there playing, running with the kids. So it was all like you said, the more I did, the better it got for me.
Yeah.
So about what time did you get back into playing sports in general?
Yeah. So maybe I was 6 or 8 years old is when I actually started playing football, when I actually was out there playing. And but the thing is that my mother, this is funny, my mother wouldn't sign a permission slip to let me play. So because I told her when I saw football on TV, it gave me the desire to play. It gave me the desire to work hard. It gave me this motivation that, okay, I got to get walking if I want to play. So I went with my mother in my wheelchair and told her, I said, Mom, I want to play in the NFL. And so she said, she got my back. She said, I support you. I got your back. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. Put your mind to it. So now 8 years old, football season come around, I give the permission slip to play football. She said, no. She said, you're not playing football. No, she said, are you crazy? You're not playing football. But what happened, I got my uncle to sign a permission slip for me, and I went and signed up, and I was on the team for 2 weeks before she found out, because he kind of covered for me. So for 2 weeks, I was always going to practice, and I used to hide my uniform in the stairwell of our apartment. So so she never found it. She never found it until my brother sold me out. But yeah, so I was gonna play football. So she took me off the team, and I was off the team for a little while. And then the coach convinced her to put me back on, and then they put me on the team. Then the coach, my mother the coach told my mother, let him play. and then a coach put me back on the team, but they put me at lineman because they wanted to protect me because I used to walk with a little limp. And I mean, obviously people knew my story. I was in a car accident, I died, broken bones. So they put me at lineman, but I only played a few minutes of each game. So, so when the game start, I sit on the sideline, and like the game ready to end, they put me in because I was a handicapped kid.
Yeah, right.
But what changed, though? What changed everything is that they put me in the last couple of minutes of the game. We had the ball. Our team fumbled. The other team picked it up and was running for a touchdown, and everybody's chasing this kid, and they couldn't catch him. The handicapped kid with the limp ran by everybody, ran past everybody, and I caught him. I tackled him before he scored a touchdown. And from that point on, everybody looked at me differently. And I was now looked at as a football player, and not a handicapped kid that wanted to play football.
Sure.
So that was special for me. And then that changed everything.
Yeah. Before we get into it, Matt Stewart, one of our sponsors tonight's show, said, "Great show, guys. Leroy's definitely moving your story." So moving story. So Matt is really enjoying what you got to say in your story.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. So Leroy, this is what's amazing to me. You were New York State rushing record, 2,559 yards, 3-time All-State. I mean, you go from possibly not walking again to becoming this incredible running back in New York State. I mean, 3-time All-State and an NCAA New York State rushing record. That's incredible.
Yeah. I was determined, man. So the one thing that everybody was forgetting about me, and I never really publicized it a lot. I never really talked about it, made it front news, is that I had a dream and desire to play in the NFL. You know what I mean? That was my goal. It never happened for our hometown. Never happened for anybody in our hometown. And so coming from this small town of Hudson, and this kid just coming out of a wheelchair, having this dream and this desire to play in the NFL, nobody saw that coming, but I had that thing inside of me that said, I'm going to make this thing happen. So I worked so hard. I kept working. I mean, there's a couple guys that was willing to work out hard with me. I pulled them in, and every single day we got it. We went after. But I had that mindset that I was going after something. So I had a dream that I was going after. So it allowed me to do more than everybody else.
Right.
Because I had something. I was chasing something that everybody saw that was impossible. But like I saw it so clear that it brought tears to my eyes and gave me joy every time I thought about it as a young kid. Because I was like, man, I can't believe I'm about to go to NFL at like 10 years old. I can't believe I'm going to NFL. It's not like I want to go. I was telling myself, I can't believe I'm going to the NFL.
Right.
So it was different. It's different language I was using.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, when you were playing in high school, did you think that you were going to be a Division I? I mean, you talk about NFL. You said you already had in your mind you were playing the NFL. But when you decided to go to college, you chose Louisville over Syracuse. So what made you make that call, going to Louisville?
Go Orange.
I see.
Yeah, so yeah, so the thing is that I knew the goal was the NFL, so I knew that the path was the Division I. So obviously Division I had to be the first step. So I knew education had to be top priority. It had to be on the top of my list because I knew I needed the grades to go. But I was in special ed classes, so I had brain trauma from the car accident, and I didn't know this, but I struggled reading and writing, and it was like I was reading at a level. So everybody was in my class that was reading at the same level I was. I never thought I had an issue until I found out that I did. I wasn't reading and writing like the rest of the kids in ninth grade. Mm-hmm. So I put it together. I said, I need to understand and know more if I want to get a scholarship to Division I to hopefully have a chance to go to NFL. So I actually fought with the school district to get them to get me out of the special ed classes and put me in the general public classes and the normal classes. And so we went through that process for a little while, back and forth, my mother, and they were saying he can't do it. He don't have the scores. He don't have the testing. He just can't. He just can't at this time because he don't have the scores. And saying, so we fought it anyway, and then they ended up changing my class to the general public. And once they did that, you're talking about frightening. It was the scariest thing I ever had to face in my life. When I went to class, the teacher was talking, handing out paperwork and stuff. I was completely lost. It was going so fast. I was so frustrated that I actually acted out to get kicked out of school because I was so frustrated. I was so embarrassed that I didn't know. Instead of me giving up, I went and got a tutor, and I got extra help, and so I got extra help to help me get past it, to understand regular classes, and I had to prove a point now because they told me you're not going to pass because this class was meant for you, and you leaving that opportunity to help you graduate. So it made me work harder from that standpoint, but I wanted to know because I need that scholarship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I got extra help. And I actually ended up doing it. I got extra help and went off to college. Graduated high school on time, broke the New York State rushing record. I got scholarship offers, but the SAT scores, I couldn't get Division I scholarship because I had the good SAT scores. So that sent me to junior college. So junior college, I did that for 2 years, and then I got Division I scholarship to Louisville.
Yeah, and first 10 games, 18 touchdowns, over 1,000 yards rushing. I mean, you exploded onto the scene.
Louisville, yeah.
Yeah.
So in Louisville, the funny thing about the funny story about Louisville, when I went in there as New York State rushing leader and a junior college All-American, I went in thinking I was going to just coast in there, right? And not knowing what they expected of me, they put me at third string. So I'm a third string running back. And I was just blown away. I'm like, I can't make it to the NFL at third string.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
We got to do something. So I found out later on that they weren't giving me the starting job because I was faster than everyone else. I was, obviously I had more skills, but I was running to the outside a lot. It was a toss sweep.
Mm-hmm.
So in high school, you give me a toss sweep, I'm taking it to the corner. I'm
gone. Right.
In college was a different story. They give me a toss sweep, and I got 5 guys waiting for me. I'm like, where you guys come from? You know what I mean? So they felt that I wasn't brave enough to go through the middle. So they put me at third string. So I had to convince myself to be strong enough to face that wall. Go to the middle, hit those linebackers, go head up. So I decided one night after our first game of the season it was 3rd and 4. And it was a first down that was supposed to come to me. As a pass, I went out the door to catch the pass. I saw somebody coming, and I saw the ball. I saw him coming, and I dropped the pass. That would have got us the first down. That would have brought us down to obviously hopefully score a touchdown. I dropped the pass. Coach yelled at me, sat me on the sideline, and I was upset. I was livid. And so basically that ruined my chances. So I was actually going to quit Louisville. I was going to leave. So that game, it was over for me. I said, I'm done with football. Not done with football. I'm done with Louisville. I need to transfer and go to someplace else. Mm-hmm. Because I was already third string, and I dropped the critical pass. So I knew the coach wanted to give me another shot. So I was just upset. So my mother called me after the game. I went back to my dorm room. She called me and told me. She said she saw the game on TV, and she saw me on the sidelines with my arms folded, upset. And she told me, she said, Leroy, don't ever let them see you hurt. Don't let them see you hurt like that. She said, you got to keep your head up and you got to keep fighting. And I said, Ma, I quit. I'm not coming to Louisville anymore. I want to leave right now. Can you get me out of here, transferring out of here? And she said, no. She said, I'm not going to let you quit. You're not going to quit on yourself. She said, you came too far to give up.
Right.
She said, do you remember when you was in the wheelchair and you came over to me and told me you wanted to play the NFL? Do you remember that? And I said, yeah. She said, you remember you told me when you didn't want me to carry you around anymore? You wanted to walk on your own. You wanted to do these things because you wanted to get to the NFL. She said, you're here. This is your shot. She said, you're not quitting. And saying, so I had to look myself in the face, look myself in the mirror and tell myself, what do I really want? What is holding me back? What is stopping me from being great? What is stopping me from getting to that level where I can take over this starting job? And then I realized it. I said, I have to come at these guys hard. I can't hesitate. I got to come at these guys so hard that you know what I mean, that they hear me, everybody else hear me, and everybody understands me. When I hit the person, everybody else that was involved and saw it understand where I'm coming from. So next practice, we did that. And I said, I'm not going to hesitate. I'm not going to make a move. I'm not going to juke. I'm going to come at this person as hard as I can on purpose. I'm not going to try to dodge him. Right. I'm going to come at him hard as I can. That's the only way I was going to break the fear. So I did it. After I did it, I did it again. I did it again. I did it again. And now it's like part of me, and I kept doing it. And then the third game of the season, the coaches came to me and said, Leroy, we want to give you the starting job. And I took over the starting job the third game of the season. And I went on and was second in the nation in rushing touchdowns. Mm-hmm. I was top 10 in every rushing category. I got 1,228 yards. I was number one in the nation for receiving yards out of the backfield. I had to overcome a fear. So I had to overcome a fear, but something had to happen for me to overcome that fear. And that was me remembering why I started the thing in the first place. And that's why I named my book The Running Back. I named it Running Back because it's not about football, because we all have goals in life. We all have a vision in life. We all have something that we're trying to pursue in life. So I named the running back because when you go down that path of dreaming, of achieving a goal and success, you're going to run to obstacles. You're going to run to roadblocks. You're going to run to things that make you want to quit. So instead of quitting, you run back to the point where you had that dream, where you had that vision, where it was the strongest, where that dream was the strongest. You run back to that point and you start over again. You don't quit. And that's what happened to me. So I always had to run back. And I did that before. I think I was so close to NFL that made me want to quit. But my mother made me remember, like, Leroy, you was in a wheelchair when you told me that. The doctor said you never walk again, and look where you're at. Don't you ever talk about quitting. And that changed me forever.
Wow.
Changed me forever. Yeah. I'm a different person now. I will always be a different person. I mean, I'm a different person for me and a different person for everybody else that ever think about quitting anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then all that hard work, it gets you in 1999, you get signed as a free agent by Washington. How was that feeling?
Yes. It was, I made it there. It was not the hurrah that I was hoping, because I wanted to be a, first round draft pick or be a draft pick and to get opportunity. But the draft day was a frightening day for me. It was horrible because I was supposed to be first round draft pick at Miami Dolphins, and then my stock started dropping. They started dropping. Because my story the story I'm telling you now got revealed. So teams started looking at that story. They're looking at, oh, he was in a car accident, or he had head trauma, or he had this. So I became a red flag. Yeah. I was a top player in the country. I was one of the top players in the country, not a state, not a city. I was top of the country. I should have been a top draft pick, but my red flag, teams didn't want to invest, take a chance on me and invest a lot. So I went as a free agent, and it was still an uphill battle trying to get through that. And like I said, it all happened for a reason, and I'm grateful and thankful the way it happened. I got a chance to reach a goal, but like I said, I realized some stuff about myself that I could live with for the rest of my life, and I'm changing lives all over because of that dream I had when I was 6 years old.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you said when you were a young kid. You said, I'm going to be in the NFL, and it wasn't, like you said, those red flags, and you hear that almost every year in the draft. Somebody finds something. It could be 10, 15 years ago, but like you said, next thing you know, now the word starts spreading through other, owners and stuff, and they go, God, this guy may be a question mark. We always got to worry about that injury. And like you said, you go from a first round, pet pick, to end up being a free agent and stuff. But you went on to sign with Jacksonville, and then the year 2000, you were the 69th pick overall by Las Vegas Outlaws. So how was that go? How was that situation?
Yeah, so the Outlaws, it was weird. It was the whole thing was weird because this is a funny story. So the Las Vegas Outlaws, the XFL came along, right? Mm-hmm. And so the coaches say they want to pick me up, they want to put me in the draft, they want me to come work out for the team. So I said, all right, I'm gonna come work out for you. And this is actually in my second book, but I'm gonna tell you right now though.
Okay.
So the Las Vegas Outlaws wanted to pick me up, and they didn't pick me up. They gave me a flight to Las Vegas. So I fly Las Vegas, and I'm sitting in the airport waiting for somebody to pick me up. Somebody holding like a sign, it's like Leroy or something like that, right? I look around, there's nobody. So an hour go by, I still see anybody. I don't have anybody's phone number to contact them. So I call. So I go to payphone because, we have a cell phone, so it's payphone. Mm-hmm. I called my mother and told my mother to, because she get the number to see the coaches because I'm in Las Vegas. It's midnight and I'm at the airport and nobody's around.
Oh, jeez.
So, so I remember the guy telling me that the hotel, my room is going to be at the MGM. So what I do, I get a shuttle, and I take a bus down to the MGM. So I'm inside MGM talking to these people. I tell them like, yeah, my name is Leroy Collins. I am XFL player for the Outlaws, and they got a room here for me. They supposed a room here for me. They checked me and said, nope. They said we don't have anything here for you. They said so I'm just sitting there like, okay. So I'm walking around Las Vegas with a bag, lost at 2:00 in the morning, and then I finally get a shuttle back to the airport, and I fall asleep. I'm really sleeping in the airport on the bench in Las Vegas. My first time in Las Vegas ever. The guy comes at 7:00 in the morning and tell me he forgot about me.
Oh no,
you forgot about me. So, you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. You still hear me?
Yep.
All right. So the guy forgot about me, and he came 7:00 in the morning. I'm sleeping on the bench, and he tells me that he apologized and whatever. And then at 9:00, I'm running a 40 time. I'm running a 40 time for him, and then these guys end up, drafting on. I did a workout for them. They drafted on, and they apologized and up and down. And then the draft came. I did the draft. I got picked in the first round. And then when I get there, I injure myself. I can't perform like I want to. So now I'm on a shelf. And he hate me, the Rod Smart, the he hate me guy.
Yep.
He was my roommate. And,
really?
And then so he ended up taking a starting job. He took a starting job. I couldn't perform, and then I ended up getting cut from there. And then it was just I was a journeyman. I was just traveling around trying to find my place.
Yeah.
So it was strange.
Yeah.
So after going through pro football, what'd you do for work afterwards? Uh-oh.
There we go. Did we lose him?
Okay, you hear me? I can't hear you.
Oh, there you go. We're back.
No? No?
I'm trying to change this.
Oh, we got you. We hear you.
Kind of went off on me.
I don't think you hear
we
us.
hear you.
I don't think you hear us.
Sorry. You still there? You hear me?
Yep. We hear you. Yep. Oh.
No, Dad.
Oh, yeah.
We can hear him. He can't hear us. That's it.
I can't get to it. Oh, here we go. This is... No, it's not letting me. It's not letting me don't let me talk. Turn Bluetooth off. That should be it. Now you hear me?
I hear
Yep.
you. You hear us?
Okay, we're good now. Sorry.
There we go.
So,
right.
Go ahead, Ray.
Yeah, so what I was asking, after going through pro football, what'd you do afterwards?
Yeah, so when football was over with, I was actually I picked my certification up when I was between Washington and Jacksonville, because I was between Jacksonville and Las Vegas. I picked my certification up because I injured my back in Jacksonville. And so, you know, I was able to train in my second year at Jacksonville. I wasn't able to do any training camp stuff. So when I got released, I went back to Washington, where I had a place in Washington, and I had picked a trainer up, and this trainer was training me, and he was doing some stuff that was very, very like interesting, and saying, so, you know, he told me how to get certified. He gave me all this information, but then I got picked up by the Las Vegas Outlaws. But when it was all over with, I went back to training. So I started to open the gym up and start personal training. And I did that for a while. And I did it for a long while. I'm still doing it now, actually. And then I started doing a little public speaking to kids about encouraging them, not knowing that I was going to be a public speaker, not thinking I was going to be a speaker, but just talking to kids about staying encouraged, keeping themselves straight and working hard and overcoming adversities. And then I wrote a book, became an author. You guys are back.
There we go.
Yeah, it keep jumping off. Sorry about that.
It's all right. You're back. Now, about the book, The Running Back, where can people find that?
Yeah, so you can go to Amazon or Barnes & Nobles, and Barnes & Noble, you can find it there. Or you can go to my website. It's dc3dream.com, and you can find it there as well.
Okay. So people looking to get Leroy's book, it's fantastic. It's kind of bringing me the story to where we actually first met. I actually reached out to Leroy, probably about a year and a half ago. Heard about his story, invited him onto the Empire Plate, and we went up to GJP's, an Italian eatery up in Oswego, and we had Leroy come on, and we talked a little bit about the book, and, you know, the book was just coming out, and he was promoting it there, and we got to eat some great food from Larry Miller up there. We actually ate a lot of food, and it was kind of messy towards the end. We had the pizza frite with all the powdered sugar all over our face. We had more fun, but that's where I got to first meet Leroy and hear, you know, a little bit. We talked a little bit off camera about his story and stuff, and it's just, you know, it's crazy, man. I left that night. I went home. And I talked to my camera guy on the way back, and it was just, I got to tell you, man, you're such an inspiration to everybody. I mean, if you don't think you could do something, read your book, listen to your story. It's possible. Anything's possible.
And that's one of the things where that I felt I had to write the book, and it had to get a message, had to get out there, and I have to do the public speaking, because too many people are giving up on their dreams. They're giving up on their goals, on the things that they supposed to do, because you have that desire and that dream to do something. That means it belongs to you. All you got to do is find the right ingredient to get it done. And like with this COVID thing happened, dreams have died. The world stood still, and dreams has died. Because people don't think that they can't do what they want to do. This right here builds you. In every obstacle, there's opportunity. And I like to say this right here. I said this the other day, like the rain happened to us all. All of us get rained on at sometime in our life. But what type of person are you going to be? Are you going to be the one to grab the umbrella and go out in the storm and conquer the storm? Or are you going to sit inside and wait for the rain to stop? You know what I mean? Why are you sitting inside waiting for the rain to stop? Everything's happening in front of you, and people are moving ahead of you.
And that's one thing I didn't want to do. I didn't want to give a person an opportunity if they get ahead of me, it's because they were better than me. But I didn't want to give them the opportunity to get ahead of me by standing inside waiting for the rain to stop. So I always went out and conquered whatever storm I had to, any obstacles and storms I had to face. I went out and did that, and I conquered a lot. And my next big, not the second book, is my big goal that I'm trying to accomplish. It was this book becoming a movie. So I had this desire for this book to become a movie. And right before COVID, we got a script for the movie. Right before COVID, we were going in to get the. I told you about the. I don't know if I told you it was going to be a movie last time we talked, but I know we talked about me wanting to become a movie. And it's actually a script now, and it's actually going to be a movie. And my goal is for it to be the #1 movie in the country, the #1 sports movie in the country. The Running Back will be the #1 sports movie in the country. I'm already claiming it, I already see it, and I believe it.
Yeah, you know what? Anything that comes out of your mouth right now, Leroy, I'm behind you on it, man. Anything you've said, man, you've conquered. So to me, that's awesome. John Pappas from Geddes Bakery. Leroy, what an inspirational story. God bless you, buddy.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. And I will see you soon.
He will see you soon. Leroy will be stopping by the bakery, John, to get some stuff.
You know, I like that analogy you had about getting through the rain and stuff like that. And what I thought as well is you were saying people who grab the umbrella and they'll go through the storm. It seems like not everyone has the umbrella, but they still make it through. And I feel like that's what you would be. You had, the way your story goes, you weren't given the umbrella to make it through the storm safely. You went out in the rain yourself. You know, I kind of like that. I think that works with you too, with the way you had your story.
Absolutely, yeah. I want to let's find out what happened. Okay, if I can't walk, let's see. Let's find out. I'm not smart enough to do that. Let's see. Give me a shot. Give me some time. You know what I mean? So that's everybody's biggest hurdle and obstacle is time. How much time you're gonna put into it? How much effort you're gonna put towards it? You know? So you give me the time. If I give me time, I share the effort, and that's how I have to live my life in, and that I'm excited about the movie now. Like I said, I'm writing this book. Quarantine kind of helped me finish this second book, but I'm happy about the movie, man. I just it will be the #1 sports movie in the country.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I'll be there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what made you? What brought you back to upstate New York?
Well, so I met a girl in college, and I actually live in Fulton. And Fulton is, Fulton, I don't know if Fulton is like south. You know Fulton is, it's near Oswego. Yeah. I came up here to visit one time. I was between NFL. I was in between the Washington Redskins and Jacksonville. So I came up to visit, and it was snowing. It was horrible out. Mm-hmm. And I just said, I remember saying that I would never, ever come back here again. It's not going to happen because I've never seen that much snow before in my life. And saying so, and I grew up in Hudson, and we get snow, but it was like something different up here.
Yeah.
I said I never come up here again. And then so, my girlfriend at the time, she got a job up here. I'm still in Washington, bouncing between teams. So I said before I went to Canada, I said, you know what, I'm come stay in Fulton until I get picked up by until next season start. And then once the next season started, I went on and after the next season started, and I left Canada. That was a whole different story too. That's in the second book. But then I ended up coming back to Fulton, and I've been here 15, 16 years later. I'm still here.
Still here. You know what, Leroy? I could see you as a coach someday. Is that something you would entertain, being a coach someday?
Oh, absolutely. I coach now, so we have a AYF. I coach Pop Warner. I coach Pop Warner. I coach my boys. I got 2 boys I got 3 boys that have a dream of becoming pro. I got 2 that have a dream of becoming NFL players. Tears in my eyes playing NFL. So he tells me he want to play NFL. So that brings tears to my eyes. And it's saying so. And my oldest, my 12-year-old, he's a beast. And you know what I mean. So I coach them. But right now we have the AYF football league just came up this area,
and I'm coaching for coaching my 6-year-old in the AYF football league.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. Now, what does Leroy Collins do?
Yeah, so
Spare time, when you have time, because you're nonstop. What do you do for hobbies? What do you got for
yes.
hobbies?
Yeah, so what I do, I'll be creative because I just started this clothing line. I don't know if you know the Dream Collection clothing line. So I started this clothing line. So basically my hobby right now is making clothes, making gear. You know what I mean? And distributing that and writing my books. Like I was a kid that was in special ed classes, could not read and write in 9th grade. I was a 9th grader that wouldn't have graduated senior in special ed classes and would not have been able to either read and write as a senior. As a graduate.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Where'd Leroy go? Yeah. Yep. I'm going to do the penalty box and. Oh.
All right.
Oh, no.
Well, that's the show. All right. Well, you want to close it up?
I kind of wanted to do the ending with him, but oh yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's able to get back on or not. Would he have to go back in his email and get back in? He's gone. We lost him. Uh-oh. All right. Well, guys, we lost Leroy. But what a great story, man. I enjoy every time I talk to him or anytime I see him. You know, a class act with a great story, man. Probably, always brings tears to my eyes. First time I talk to him, man. Him telling it, and this movie, when this movie comes out, it's going to be fantastic. We definitely have to go and watch it. I think
I'm excited. I'm excited to see if this comes too. Yeah,
absolutely. So, guys, if you're just joining us, we lost Leroy with connection. But give this a share. Watch the replay. It's a fantastic story. And just an incredible guy. And look forward to meeting up with him again soon and getting him back on their show. But give it a share, spread the word. Leroy Collins, inspirational story to everybody. So, guys, we are going to be leaving for the night. Another great show. Tune in on Thursday. That'll be our next show. We'll be live from 7 to 8. And we got former Auburn, New York native Mark Del Piano, who's a great friend of our family. He's a scout for the New York Yankees, and he's traveled around the major leagues doing all kinds of stuff. And we're going to be excited to really catch up with Mark. I haven't talked to Mark in a few years, so it'll be good to hear his story and where he started. So join us Thursday, 7 to 8, New York Yankees baseball scout Mark Del Piano will be joining us. Ryan, great show as always, man. We had a lot of fun tonight, and we'll see everybody on Thursday. Make sure you guys like our page at No Time for Nonsense. Give it a share, and we'll see you guys Thursday. Have a good night, guys.
Have a good night.